Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the channel. This is Wisdom of the Revolution. My name is Rebecca, and the intention of this channel was to be able to provide a space for myself and also anyone else who is drawn or guided to these videos to assist in the fluctuations, the changes, the energetic shifting that's going on right now through this time of Earth's ascension and our ascension. The energies are chaotic and also magical right now, and it is a lot and it's intense, and I feel like we're all going through it right now. And I feel like any of us that can step up and kind of speak our truth and speak our perspective and our revelations that we're going through and our revolution that we're going through helps to inspire and awaken other people's revolution and inner knowing and fire that is ready. And a lot, like much of it has been dormant, and now a lot of it is waking up, and it's exciting and thrilling. And actually, as I pulled and shuffled some cards to kind of get an overall feel of what it was that Spirit was wanting to kind of channel through today, or to discuss or focus on. And it does seem like the energies that are coming through are very similar to kind of what the whole reason, the intention of what this channel was for, at least for myself. I personally have gone through massive shifts and massive changes since the beginning of this year. I've quit my job. I've got this hut that I'm in right now for doing Reiki. I'm a Reiki master, and intention was to focus on that full throttle. Since then, I've kind of dabbled in it and wanting to start this as well. So that's new. I decided to homeschool my children just a few months ago. So that's new. Relationships in my life are starting to become, it's nothing super negative or toxic or anything like that, but a little bit rocky, a little bit unstable. They're shifting. We're all shifting. People are changing, and that foundation sorry, I thought I had earlier when I was shuffling, I had a number 4. So it just came to me now, but because thinking about the stability and the foundation and the structures of our lives are starting to look and feel a little bit different, and maybe even ominous in some ways, compared to how we were looking at them before. And that's not for everyone. That will be specific to some people that have that kind of ominous feeling. But definitely, because we're changing and we're shifting and we're opening up, our perceptions of things around us and our relationships and how things work and all of that are also changing and opening up. And that's kind of, I think, the energy and the overall energy of what they wanted to talk about. So it looks like, just from a little bit of cards that I pulled, I got the Page of Wands. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, we have the 10 of Swords, and we have the 3 of Cups. Now, it is that there is this new enthusiasm, this new kind of fire, this new intention or passion to like create something new, or just start a new page, or to like to draw more from our well of like inner power and knowing and creativity and passion and our inner child, that excitement, that thrill. Is kind of opening up more in us right now as we're ascending. There's more of a desire to be in community, to be in harmony, to be in synergy with that 3, for everything to come together full circle and be in collaboration and be more in harmony with ourselves and our environments and overall the earth, that is the desire for all of us to come together in harmony right now. The state of the earth is, well, I don't need to speak on that. We all know. It's very unsettling. It's very imbalanced. It's rocky. But, a lot of spiritual perspective on that from a lot of people in the spiritual community is that is the deconstructing or the collapsing of old paradigms, old systems that did not support our highest good or the sovereignty of our essence, and that this needs to crumble and for the new to come in now. This does not dismiss any of the horror that's going on in the world, but it is a perspective we can hold in love, that it helps our frequency expand, which helps the community's frequency expands, which helps the earth's frequency expand. Anyway, getting back to this, that's the fire. This is the coming into synergy and coming into community and coming into celebration and joy and happiness and coming back to ourselves, essentially, too, and bringing back that inner child, our present self and our highest self, all into harmony, right? like our inner child, our present self and our ego, and also our highest self and highest timeline. Yeah, bringing that into harmony. But throughout that, there's this Ten of Swords, and it feels painful. We feel exposed. We're moving from a fear paradigm. There's a paradigm of fear that we've been operating in, of lack, limitation, restriction. It's a matrix. It's been the whole story. It's been the entire story and the only truth that many of us, not all of us, there is people that have known deeper truths living on this earth. There has. But as a grand rule, the energies were, there were energies at play that were keeping us more clamped, more small, more in restriction, and not in our full expansion. The point is that there's this fear paradigm that we've all been operating in, this matrix of fear that we've been operating in. Okay, lack, limitation, restriction. Okay, that's also these 10 of Wands here. Okay, that's that. Okay, it's also what's kept us feeling safe. It's kept us feeling safe, secure, and knowing what to expect. Okay, not, you know, like we as humans in our mind often likes to know what's coming down the line and make plans and structure and everything so we can feel settled. Okay, so this fear paradigm, this matrix paradigm has also been the only thing that we've known, and it's kept us feeling safe, right? But it's a false, it's an illusion of safety. It's false safety. It's not really safe to our depth of our sovereignty, of our essence, right? It's maybe safe depending on where you live in the world. It's maybe safe just in terms of like, I have shelter, I have food, I have water, that kind of thing. I have family around me that love and support me, of course, all of those kinds of things. But anyway, it's kind of saying there's a feeling of being like, I feel like there's a fear of being, it's a feeling of this shifting that's going on, of this inner power that's coming up, of this deeper knowing, of this inner authority, of this chariot type energy, of this strength type energy, this inner strength, this willpower, this solar plexus power that's coming up, that's nudging at us with this fiery little wand, that inner child energy that's saying it's time to wake up, it's time to start a new page, it's time to create something new, it's time to get back to the elemental, it's time to get back to the basics and see how you can restructure your environment and your world and your life to be more in harmony and alignment with what now you truly believe, because your beliefs are shifting. That's this one. Move beyond intention to belief. Number 5, that's also changes. Okay, there is different ways that we're starting to see the world. Maybe there's new beliefs that are popping up, that are starting to creep in, that are challenging old beliefs and old paradigms. And it feels like if we really did move from our intention to belief of these things, if we adopted our new beliefs and essentially let old ones go, it feels kind of like we're exposed. Like it feels kind of like we're losing that mask, that shield, that safety of what's keeping me hidden from the world. I mean, it's scary to get big and expansive and bright, and then you feel exposed, and maybe there's a little bit of fear, and maybe you're not sure if it feels unsafe, right? But that's also the energies of what you have fear of not feeling safe if you step into a new potential, if you step into a new way of seeing the world and a whole new set of beliefs. Okay, so like, let's see what else we can get, Spirit. This is what initially kind of what I was picking up on as these cards came out. I hope that makes sense. I'm just starting, so it's going to be really interesting to see how I communicate, how I operate, if it's clear. Yeah, I'll settle in. I'll get more in my vibe. I feel a little bit like I'm, what is that? Like I feel like a little bit like a slightly, like I'm a little bit nervous, I guess, right? So I feel like I'm not showing my full, authentic, shiny self right now. But I'm being honest. Like I'm just a fucking woman named Rebecca, and that's it. And I'm a Reiki master, and I'm an intuitive, because we all are intuitive, and that's where I'm at. I'm the same as you. You're the same as me. I'm not anything more than what we all are, if that makes sense. Anyway, So what am I getting? I'm getting Ace of Wands, inverted, inverted Sun, and the inverted Magician, all inverted. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is that inverted Ace. This is like the Page of Wands is holding the wand and looking at it and contemplating it and getting an energy and inspiration and passion for this new concept, this new way of living, and new ideas and potentials of how they could live their life, or what the world could be, or how they want to change, or how they want to step into their power, or how they want to bring something new into the world. Okay. And then it's inverted. So it's like there's a delay in that, because you have these swords in your back and you have some fear about feeling exposed and maybe not feeling like like you're not protected in the same way that you have been, right? Okay, you got the inverted Magician, so you're not in the inverted Sun, so it's like you're not the Sun's in your reading, so it's the potential of this being upright and being in full connection, joy, abundance, and highest expression. Your will coming through, your power coming through, that solar plexus energy coming through. It's here in the reading, but it's inverted. You know, it's inverted also with the inverted Magician, because you're not one of the cards that came out earlier was Get Back to the Elemental, which is also a card that is very much kind of like the Magician, because it's get back to your elements, your fire, water, air, earth, and spirit. Get back to all of that. Bridge the earthly realms and the spirit realms. Bridge them, connect to them both to bring your creation into the world. Okay. There's an imbalance maybe in that. I'm not sure if we're going too far into the light, where we're not being practical and grounded in our approach here. It could be that we've been absorbing so much of this new information or new concepts, so that we're really stepping into our inner power, that it's more like you're in that airy flighty space and you're not having enough grounded energy in your lower chakras and your root chakra, your sacral chakra, like down onto earth, where you can bring your creations into the physical realm, tangible. It may be that there's an imbalance in that. Like we're not taking action to manifest and bring it in and start this. We feel the energies. We feel the energy of joy and celebration and connection and enthusiasm. We feel it, right? It could be that, or it could be that you are still sitting and keeping yourself small in a bit of the darkness. And it's okay to be in the darkness, and we're meant to go into the darkness, and we're meant to come out of it with more light. And that's the process of our evolution. Okay? It's the process of being human, having a soul, being a soul, operating as a human. It's the process. It's part of it. You're meant to. You can't discard the darkness or the shadow. Like you need to go in and out, and work with it and alchemize it and make it your buddy, like that's, so it's either you're sitting too far in that shadow and that darkness, which is fine to go into, but maybe you need to come out now. Like you need to come out. So you're not taking action towards this new beginning, this new potential, this new creative passion or project or creation or new beginning, just new beginning, new fresh start, new fresh way of approaching life. Who knows? It could be many things. Okay. But the Magician and the Sun are in your reading. So it's like the energies of the Sun, of being in connection with your highest self, of being in connection with your sacral or solar plexus, of will, of I am, of I am divine, and I am present, and I am strong, and I am here to be the sun, to create heaven on earth, to be in alignment, to bring this inner child out. There's the inner child on the white horse. Like your inner child is ready to come and speak and be heard and polarize people or whatever it is, like children sometimes can be polarizing. They say what they think. They say what they feel. Enjoy. And they don't overthink it. And they don't hold on to stuff for too long either, right? Like they just flow. That's that inner child that comes out and sometimes can shock people, because people like things to be structured and predictable and safe. Okay. So like this energy and this is you creating your world. This is you being the sacred creator. This is you alchemizing all of the elements to create your heaven on earth, your truth, your light, your highest potential. Okay, so these energies they're inverted in your reading, but they're prevalent in your reading. So it's definitely that there's a suppression or a stagnation. Right? This is inverted too. They're all here waiting and wanting to be turned up. Woohoo! Let's create this new paradigm. Let's move beyond intention to belief. Let's awaken this inner child and start anew and celebrate. Celebrate our lives and celebrate ourselves and celebrate the simplicity of the truth. Like the truth of what we are and all that is and our highest good is really simple. It's just be you and be on your authenticity and move towards your highest passion. That's it. All of the other stories that come in, all of the other fear stories that come in regarding your safety, that's your mind. That's the old restricted and your mind is powerful and can be used to create, but also can backfire. And your mind can keep you entrapped and stuck in concepts, fear concepts that is telling you again and again a story of if you move towards that passion, if you take that step, you're going to affect this person, or you're going to rock the boat with a relationship, or you're going to have less finances coming in, or you're going to have uncertainty, or you're going to, there's so many things and stories that can come in that will stop us. And our mind is infinite. It will keep going. It will find more. It will always will, right? But as soon as we relinquish some control, and we release the need to feel all the time safe, right? Like we release the fear of losing our safety. We realize that we are always supported in spirit. Like we're always supported by some kind of energy. Like it's always here. Like when you're sitting in a moment of stillness alone is almost when you feel that presence the most, right? It's when your mind's quiet. It's when it's not talking to you and telling you old stories. It's old stories. You got to move beyond intention to the belief of the new paradigm, of the new thoughts, the new consciousness that is awakening inside of you. Because it's easy for it to be scary or for us to resist it in a lot of ways, or feel like it feels big. Like it feels big. It feels like if we stepped into it, it could completely blow our life up the way that, as we know it. I don't know if any of you are feeling like that, but that's how I'm feeling. Lately, I'm feeling like that energy, whatever it is, that's kind of pushing me, that's awakening inside of me, that's opening things up, concepts, emotions, feelings, knowing, sovereign knowing of myself and my power. It's so massive. And I have been stepping into it, but it is massive. It's like, it is a little scary. You do feel a little exposed. You do feel like a little bit of fear about if you're going to move too fast in the structures of how you understand your world, how you always understood your world, might crumble if you change too much too fast, right? Like it's scary. It can be unsettling. It can be scary. But the message that's coming through is that you are the magician in the sun. You are powerful. Your choice of turning them upright and stepping into your power and trusting that there is a higher power that, and including yourself, your highest self, that is guiding you. Like if you jump off the cliff, do you believe that you will be caught in some way, or do you believe you're going to fall flat on your face? Because if you're still operating in a belief that you're going to fall flat on your face, right? That's that fear paradigm. That's that mindset of like, I know A plus B equals C, right? And I've understood that A plus B equals C my whole life. I can't question that A plus B equals C. It's like questioning the nature of reality. That's like questioning everything I've ever known. Yeah, it is. It is. And you're not alone. I mean, if you're going through that, you are not alone, and I'm not alone, and we are all in this together, and we're supposed to jump off the cliff in some way. And I'm not recommending, I'm definitely not advocating or recommending that anybody go like stop paying your mortgage and like, I don't know, like, you know, there's a lot, like, don't be completely irresponsible where you put yourself in a situation where it's really, really hard, you know, like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. That's not what I'm advising. I'm advising right now on trusting your path, trusting that that whatever is speaking inside of you, whatever is nudging inside of you, whatever is waking up inside of you is coming up to be heard for a reason. It's to guide you to your highest potential. Okay? Maybe it doesn't mean that you wake up tomorrow and you just drive to Mexico and like leave your house behind. You're just like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's okay though if you choose to start to plan a new life. It's okay to choose to let go of old beliefs and believe and step into new ones. It's okay if that's going to shake up your world a little bit. It's okay if it's going to create waves with relationships. It's okay if you make less money for a period of time. You know, if like you need to make sure that you can still feed yourself. Okay, have a place to sleep at night and all of that kind of stuff. Like, be responsible in terms of your necessities of what it requires to be safe in your root chakra, grounded in your life. Whatever you need for that, of course, do that. But maybe we can start to look a little bit at the things that we think that we need to keep us safe in our root chakra. Like, do we really need, like, for maybe some people, not everyone, maybe some people do really like love cars and like that's their passion and their joy is to have really fancy, expensive cars or whatever. And that's fine. Like, that's your joy, your passion, follows your highest passion. That's your alignment. But for others, maybe they only did that and worked up that ladder and bought the car and did all that because there was a story that they believed that told them that made them more powerful or more accepted because of their success or whatever. So maybe then you can look at those kinds of stories and decide which ones are yours and which ones are other people's, because a lot of them will be other people's. Like, a lot of them. Like, so many of them will be other people's. And then there'll be some that are yours, that are your stories and your truth and your thoughts, your perception, right? No judgment. Like, no judgment for whatever you choose in your life or wherever you are in your life. It's the most sacred thing is what is. And you're where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. We've all been through it. Yeah. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. You're here watching a video somehow about allowing that fire inside of you, that new energy, that new spirit, that new expansion, that new sovereignty, that new excitement, that new, it's if you found a video that's talking to you about honoring that or validating that you're feeling that, like, you've won. King of Cups came out. King of Cups. Okay, so you're in your feels a little bit too. Okay, but you're the king. You're the king of your feels. Like, you're on top of the mountain right now looking at the beauty and the revelations of what your life has been so far. The beauty that is held within the lessons of the connections, the lessons of the lack, the lessons of the expansion, the lessons of the dark and the light, the lessons, the journey. You're sitting in your feels right now about it, and you're kind of that's what I'm picking up. You're reflecting a little bit in a way about, it's emotional. But the song that's coming to mind actually is Landslide by the Dixie Chicks. The landslide brought us down. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Rise above and I see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, and the landslide brings it down. Okay, anyway, look up the lyrics maybe on that one, because I'm sure it'll be more clear than me singing it right now and trying to recall. But that's the word that's coming to mind. It's like reminiscing and being in your feels, but being in your power of your emotions. Like, you're not, Like, it's not necessarily sadness, right? It's like a nostalgic appreciation for where your life has brought you, and you're on that top of the mountain, and okay, that's why that song came. That's why I had the image of sitting on top of the mountain. Okay. Because that song Landslide, it's like you're sitting on top of the mountain and you're looking at how you've structured your life, how you've built it up, where you are today, how you've got here, all of it that's surmounted and compiled to where you are now. But now you're realizing that there is a new version of you inside. There's these new intentions that are starting to surface, of new longings, new desires, new ways that you believe about yourself, new ways you feel about yourself and the world and others. And it's changing how you feel about your environment and your life and your creations that you've worked on, accomplished. Right? So it's like you're starting to have these new intentions, this new expansion, this new energy, this new passion for life, this new inner child, this new, your priorities are shifting along with your perceptions. Like, it's all changing, and you're sitting there in your throne at the top of the mountain with your cups, and you're aware or realizing, or you're intuitively connected to the fact that this is a process that's happening. You haven't stepped fully into your next chapter. There's like a contemplation in a way, in terms of just, you're sitting right now in your safety, like you're sitting in your safety on your throne at the top of the mountain, right? You're aware that you're living in a state of fear, or you're not necessarily you're aware you're living in a state of fear, but you're aware that like there's fear behind these new urges, these new pushes. Like, you're aware that there's fear, and that's why you haven't taken the step as the magician, the sun. Yeah. Maybe you're aware that this will expose you. It will expose you to the people around you in your life. It will expose your authenticity. It'll expose your truth of what you stand for and who you are, and your energetic imprint behind the scenes of what we've crafted to be shown, Okay. Let's see if we can get any more, Spirit. How long? We've been 28 minutes. Okay. I feel like I've been talking so much. It feels like it's been 5 minutes. So that's a good sign. Okay. What else, Spirit? Should we ask a question? We're kind of getting the overall thing. So like, what's the advice? Let's get some advice. What's the advice for the collective that's resonating with this message? What's the advice for the collective in how to transmute this situation, this threshold? You're like at a threshold. It feels like it's too many. What's the advice on how to handle this threshold? 7 of Swords. Okay. Sorry, your cards are... Okay. Another one, please, for advice. I'm really butterfingers today. It's the nerves. It's the nerves. There we go. Inverted 2. Okay. Inverted 2 of Pentacles. Okay, one more. Oh, come on, Spirit. One more. One more. And 2 of Wands. Okay. So the advice regarding this threshold and where you're at this point in time, it's like the 7 of Swords. So I feel that came out. So I feel like it's, the advice is that maybe you should be moving through. Maybe you don't need, like, maybe if there's a fear of being exposed to, and maybe the guidance is also like Seven of Swords is like, you can keep it close to your chest. Like you can start to take steps, or you can settle into your new thoughts, your new new perceptions, new potentials, reprioritizing. Like you can start to do that on an inward level first. Like you're the King of Cups, so you're in your power. In your emotional power right now is what you are. Like you're in your emotional power more than you think, at least. Like if you're feeling like you're not in emotional power, because there's some cards showing, like this one is inverted, Two of Pentacles, which can be like feeling very overwhelmed, or feeling like we're having problems balancing all the different aspects of our life, or sorry, I just was feeling like I should have a look at, maybe I felt like I was missing something, or I need to assess and see what you need to let go. Okay, that's why I needed to look at that, because that's it. Right? Like we can start to assess, like I said, reprioritizing. I said that. I said your perceptions are changing. Maybe your priorities are changing. Like, and maybe you haven't necessarily taken any steps to do anything yet, but you're feeling it so much inside that it's like, it's that push of like, oh my gosh, I have to do something. Like I need to, like, there's a power inside of me that wants to be heard, that wants to come out in a new way, in a different way than what I've structured. Like whatever I've done, like how I've structured my life is too small. That's what it feels like. Like we're in a little box, and it's been okay, and we never really questioned the little box. Maybe we didn't even realize we were in a little box, right? We didn't know that. But now that little box, the roof came off, right? And we realized that on top of that little box, when you take off the roof, there's like this huge dome up there, like this huge dome. You know, there's a lot more going on than we thought was going on. Okay, so like as we're starting to open up to that, and it's exchanging our perceptions and our priorities, or we're, you know, like it feels like if we opened up and spoke about it and brought it into the world right now with that Magician, you know, like, yes, I'm creating my life, and we'll feel a bit exposed, right? And that's maybe a little bit of this, of, and what I was, sorry, circling back to what it said is that maybe I need to prioritize and see what I need to let go. So maybe in the inside, if it's keeping this close to your chest a little bit, like you're working on this in an emotional power, like in your emotional power, in your intuitive power, and you're listening to your intuitions and your emotions. The subtle flow that's inside of you. You're listening to your inner world, okay? You're that king listening, okay? And you can discern of what it is that you can let go, and what it is that you can say no longer serves me, what you can say, what it is that no longer aligns with you, okay? All of these things that you were balancing are now, we need to assess and see what we need to let go, because I'm changing, and I'm evolving, and don't feel the same way that I did about A, B, and C, or X, Y, and Z. Like I feel different, you know, and maybe we don't know how to explain that to others. So maybe for now you keep that close to your chest, and maybe that is where you feel safe, and that will be your safety at the moment, so that you can get more clear and get more clarity, you know, on how you're going to step forward with this. So you don't feel so exposed, because maybe those feelings of being exposed may set you back in some way. And maybe you feel like you're more powerful to do it quietly and to decide internally. Because you had this one, and I didn't pull that up. This is the Two of Wands. This is planning. This is a focal point. This is like holding the vision or the goal in your hand, and coming up with a strategy or a plan of how you're going to bring it into the world, how you're going to move forward towards it. Right? So you're like doing this maybe in your intuition and your inner world. You're keeping your cards close to your chest. Okay. And we need to figure out what it is that we need to kind of let go of. What pentacle can we drop? Because it's becoming too much, and we're a different person now. We need to step into our alignment, because we're different now. We need to move beyond intention into the belief of what we truly believe now. Have that reflected to us in our external. Okay, so that's the advice. There you go. Maybe keep it to yourself and do the work inside that doesn't feel so exposing or polarizing or terrifying, you know, because it is. And you are not alone if you are feeling like you're keeping yourself small for a while because it's just too much. You're not. I also have been doing the same thing for a very was doing the same thing for a very long time. And I completely understand the need to sometimes go into your shell. Like, I get that, and no judgment, and, you know, your path. And the most sacred thing is what is, like I said, and divine right timing is absolutely a thing. And sometimes you're just not aligned to that moment for change yet. Sometimes you need to contemplate it a little bit in your intuition and be in that feel and look at the mountain, look down at your mountain and sort it out for yourself. And once you kind of come to that clarity, once you've, you know, become the King of Swords through the King of Cups, once the King of Cups moves into the King of Swords, then maybe we can turn our Magician and our Sun outright, because we have clarity, and now we have more clarity, more of a tangible concept of the steps that we can maybe take to start to shift our reality and what we can really let go, right? And what stories are no longer serving us or holding us back. Okay, that was the advice. Can I get a card? Something else? Is there anything else that wants to come out for advice? One of these cards to go along with the other three. That was a lot. Okay. This one, sovereignty. Okay, well, there you go. I mean, we're becoming more aware of our sovereignty, whether we consciously know that that's what's happening or not. The shifts that are happening inside of us is that we are opening up more to the knowing, just the knowing, like the inner knowing, not the mind knowing, just the inner knowing, like the being in the feel of knowing that we are sovereign and powerful. The advice is to know that you are sovereign, like to know that whatever it is that you were knowing in your intuition, whatever it is that's pushing you towards wanting to spark that inner child and step into it's like the inner child is powerful too. Okay, the inner child blindly goes for what it wants with no fear. And that's power. Okay, so yeah. Okay, last and complete. Okay, the advice, complete. Okay, it's coming through in a couple ways. It's like also, it's coming through like complete your own inner process first before stepping out if you need to, but also the advice is also to complete this process. Which of course Spirit will always be your biggest cheerleader and say, yes, do it, yes, do it, yes, do it, complete it. And they'll push you even when it's like, oh my gosh, I just took steps, like I just did things. And sometimes that's when it's like, keep going and it's overwhelming, you know, they don't have the same perspective if we do down here on the ground, you know. But we need their blind enthusiasm and pressure to step into our power. We need it, because sometimes being a human, it's easier just to not, you know, like sometimes it's easier just to not, but like complete, like it also is a message and a validation that like whatever you're feeling, whatever this is for a reason. And it's to bring you closer to being complete and to full harmony and alignment with yourself. Full circle, which is also this one, coming in full circle and synergy with all parts of yourself. You know, that inner child, that present self, and that highest future potential self, right? Like it's bringing them all together and honoring them all, and honoring where you are now present, honoring that little child and what that child wants to bring into the world, and that passion and drive and fire and excitement. I mean, for a long time, we've all been told that you need to grow out of that at some point, right? You need to get real, get responsible, get grounded, and like follow someone else's rules for the rest of your life, right? That is a boring fucking story. That is like boring and so what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's just becoming so clear to me now. And and obviously I believe for so many others, like that story is like the biggest sham that we have all adopted. Like, think about it. Think about when you're alone by yourself, how silly you can fucking be. We're children inside. We are children inside. And we were all told, like, at some point you have to let that go and grow up and like, don't have too much fun. Follow someone else's rules for the rest of your life. Why the fuck would anyone want to ever do that? Why did we all agree to that? Why did we all say, yeah, that's a good idea? Well, there's lots of reasons why we all, but yeah, anyway, that's a whole other video. But anyway, it's just funny. And I'm kind of losing my topic of where we were. So maybe I should circle back and just finish up with the conclusion card. But yeah, it's just, I'm laughing because it's just like, those are the kinds of thoughts that are coming up now, and kinds of feelings and energies, and like energy that I'm in is kind of like, what a shitty fucking story. Like, we're all so much more powerful than following someone else's rules for the rest of our life. Like, at our core, we are love and grace and service. Like, I know that in the world that it's being expressed in lots of other ways, and that isn't always reflected. And then a lot of the story is like, you need to protect yourself from all of the shitty people, you know. But maybe there's a lot of fucking shitty people because we've all been told to follow rules, and people are not built to follow other people's rules. They're built to stand in their own power of love and light. And they were basically told, no, you're not love and light. You don't know enough. You're not going to be able to guide yourself. These outside structures and authorities like the church or the governments or whatever know better, and we will guide you. Yeah, guide us to fucking depression, anxiety, wars, poverty, starvation. Like, hello. Sorry, that was a tangent. I'm going to go on lots of tangents because this is Wisdom of the Revolution. And we're all needing to like speak truths, like polarize, shock. Like, let's wake people up in love, no judgment. You are where you are. I'm not a spiritual person. Like, and like, there is some people in spiritual communities that are more like, you know, never drink alcohol, and I don't know, you know, like climb a mountain and sit on the top of it and pray and like whatever. You are spiritual because you are you, and you don't need to do anything else. You're already spiritual. You're already sovereign. You're already here doing a sovereign, spiritual, powerful light mission. Like, you're already doing it. Even if you feel like you're in the darkness right now with 10 swords in your back, what you're going through is a process of expansion and light. That's what it is. It's a process of expansion and light. And we go through pockets of feeling like we're in the darkness, but the truth is beyond all of that, right? It's so much bigger. It's so much bigger, and we can all feel it inside of us now. We can feel it. It feels big, and it feels like it's saying, hello, knock, knock, knock. I've been patiently waiting to come in for tea for a very long time, and now I'm going to break down the door because I'm so fucking thirsty. You have not been listening to me, but in love, because it's in love. Sorry. Let's get some closing messages. I didn't go too far in. We got the gist. You got some advice. This is the general theme of what I want to open up with this channel, Wisdom of the Revolution. You are the revolution. Be the revolution. Allow yourself to be the revolution. Allow yourself to revolutionize your own life, your own world, in love. Just do it in love and compassion for others. You can make changes. You can change your life. You can do whatever you like for yourself, and it might create waves. It might rock the boat. But if you do it in compassion and love, you'll figure it out. I don't have every answer for you because you have to go inside and find your own. But there is a path to being complete. And Spirit is guiding you and urging you to take those steps, and all the fear that you're feeling regarding the changes, the uncertainty, how you're going to navigate this or that. It'll come. You're the King of Cups. You're the King of Cups, and you're intuitive, and you feel it, and you know it. And it might take a bit of time, but everything is in divine right timing, and the most sacred thing is what is. So just take a deep breath for a minute. I am enough. Exactly as I am right now. I am enough. I am too. I'm enough. You're enough. What do you really want? That's awesome. Love that. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, and it's so fitting that it came out for the conclusion, because the conclusion of this is, what do you really want? What is your story? What is your truth? What nudges and urges are being pushed into, like, are rising inside of you right now? What intentions do you need to switch into beliefs? What do you really want? This is your life, your path, your story. And we love others, and we want the best for them. We do. But if you're not in your authenticity, if you're not in your authenticity and in your alignment, then you're never bringing the fullest version of yourself to the people you love anyway, right? Change can shake up our foundation a little bit. Change can feel a little bit rocky. Change can feel a little bit like overwhelming, unsettling. That's all normal. That's to be expected. It's okay to accept it as part of the process and not judge yourself for it. People will adapt. If you're stepping into your authenticity and your power in love and compassion, people will adapt. It's like an energetic adjustment. They will adapt in one way or another. They'll either adapt to you and come to you, or they will adapt without you, but they will adapt. I love all of you. I love all of us. I love what we're doing. I love Earth. I love this journey. I love that I can go on this phone and record this message and share it with all of you. And maybe one of you will hear something that helps wake you up. Like I've had in my life, where I've watched people speak and something they said started me down a new journey. You know, like I just love this whole shit show. Just love this whole shit show. So thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. I hope to see you again next time. I'm brand new, so I guess I've seen other people do this. Do the like and subscribe if you want, or don't. It doesn't matter. Just join in if you want to, whenever you want. Whatever's meant to be will be. And I love you all. And go be a baddie, I guess, in your life now. Like go take some spiritual charge, spiritual authority. You know, you got this. You got this. I got this. You got this. We all got this. We're revolutionizing the world. One tarot video at a time. Okay, anyway, love you guys.